There has never been a sporting moment like it. Australian surfing legend Mick Fanning attacked by a great white shark during a surfing contest, all captured on live TV. For an agonising 9 seconds, Mick disappeared from view, and the world held its breath to see who or what would emerge from this life and death struggle. Since his return home, Mick Fanning has been reflecting on his great escape, and as he tells Peter Stefanovic, trying to make sense of the nightmares that haunt him. Mick's also done what many might think is completely mad. He's gone straight back in the water.
It's a cool Saturday dawn, and Mick Fanning is doing what he's done most of his life, getting ready to go surfing. But this time, things are different.
It's been almost a week now, so it's like, okay, it's time to get moving again. The longer you leave something, the worse it will get.
What is it that pulls you back? Is it the fear?
Yeah, there's definitely the fear. I guess it's the fear of the unknown, you know, like you can't see something like that coming.
There is a mental hurdle there.
Oh,
so
yeah,
how
definitely.
big is it?
But judging by it, it was like, I don't know, 3 metres.
3 metres? A 3 metre hurdle?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thanks. Should we hug?
You'll be right, mate. You'll be right.
All right.
A reassuring hug from his mum Liz, and Mick Fanning heads back into the water. Mick is a 3-time world surfing champion, our best of the modern era. But this could be the most important surf of his life.
I must say I am anxious, yeah, but also very happy for him that he's gone in the water so quickly. Yeah, I didn't expect it, really.
Therein lies the determination behind Mick Fanning.
But absolutely, he's such a strong man, and you know, the motto is never give up and never give in, and he hasn't. He's just gone straight back in there, and I'm so happy for him.
And it's a beautiful sight.
Prior to a week ago, what were your thoughts on sharks?
You know they're out there. You know you're going into their domain. You're always worried about them, but you always think you're going to see one, but you're not going to be anywhere near it. You'll have the time to get away.
And now?
Sort of the same, just I look over my shoulder a little bit more.
Let's see what unfolds on Fanning's first ride. Drives up into the lip.
It was Sunday, the 19th of July, and Mick wasn't looking over his shoulder at anyone or anything.
Well, Mick Fanning is up again and tucking into the barrel, holding the wall of that wave to maximise his time behind the curtain.
He was flying down the line at the famous Jeffreys Bay surfing contest in the form of his life.
This wave still has a lot to give, and Fanning gets a clean arc.
Felt like I was peaking at the right time. Body was feeling good, and yeah, I was really excited, you know.
Fanning's about to put a big number on the board as this wave starts to stand up on the inside.
And you weren't to know that you were about to literally fight for your life.
Yeah, the beach guy didn't tell me that.
That wasn't part of the plan.
No, it definitely wasn't part of the plan. Yeah, it was just, yeah, like I was out there waiting for a wave, and then sure enough, here it happened.
Seconds into the final, the great white struck. So sudden, so shocking, so real.
Like the shark just came, like my board was sideways and the shark just came like that. And it was like right there. The main dorsal fin was right there, and I could see the side fin, and I could see where it goes from grey to white, and that was when I was like, uh-oh, yeah, this is really, really bad.
So you saw the white of the white pointer?
Yeah, definitely.
And so did the rest of the world. These pictures were beamed live to an international audience, including Mick's mum Liz at home on the Gold Coast.
I just immediately felt my heart go boom, and I was just stunned. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. And then when that wave came and we couldn't see him, I definitely thought he'd gone.
It's hard to imagine Liz's agony at that moment. She'd already lost one son, Sean, in a car accident 17 years ago.
A mother's worst nightmare to lose one son. Did you think, not again?
Yes, I definitely did. I thought the universe can't be this cruel.
For 9 agonising seconds, a wave blocks everyone's view of the attack. Only Mick knows what happened behind that wall of water.
So what people didn't see when the wave went down is that it came back again, and my board was like just where you were, and I was like trying to reach for it because I knew if I was on top of my board then...
So you were off the board at
I
that
was off
stage?
the board, yeah, and it just came straight past and was like right there, and I didn't know what to do, so I just sort of just thought, just punch it or whatever, and just punched it in between the main dorsal fin and the side fin.
Was that instinct that took over?
Oh, definitely, for sure. Yeah, I knew it was coming. And that's when when it dragged me away and my leash finally broke, I started swimming, like I was swimming back to shore.
Mick powers for the shore, but then realises there is no way he can outswim a shark, so decides to turn and confront his attacker.
So I was like, hang on, if you just keep swimming that way, then it can just come from behind, you won't even see it. So that's when I turned around and I was like, well, if I can see my feet, so I've got at least that much time to make a decision on what to do, and I was just trying to get as high as I could in the water.
How alone did you feel right at that point?
Oh, so alone. It was like, this is me or it, pretty much.
But help was on its way. The water safety was charging towards Mick, and so too his good mate and opponent, Julian Wilson.
With respect to Julian, most people would like to think that you would do what he did, swim towards a mate in danger. If the roles were reversed, do you think you would have done the same thing?
Who knows? I hope I would, for sure. You always talk about these stories. You talk about, yeah, you'll be the heroic one and all these sort of things, but you don't know until you're in that moment, and you have no idea. You know, I would like to think that I'll go after him, for sure.
Mick was rescued without a scratch. No one out on the water could believe it.
See some teeth? You get some teeth?
I just saw fins. I didn't see the teeth.
Did you get a couple punches in?
I punched it in the back, yeah.
Soon, the euphoria of survival gave way to shock and raw emotion
I'm somehow perfectly fine.
when he saw the impact on the faces of his friends on the shore.
And they had tears in their eyes. That's when it kicked in. That's when I was like, oh, wow.
That set you off?
Yeah, that set me off, and I was done.
What did you do that evening? Did you sink a few beers? Did you go and have a big dinner? What did you do?
Cooked a big barbie and drunk a lot of beers, and pretty much had like a celebration dinner, you know. Like a friend of mine was like, oh, it was like a wake, but you're still here, you know. So
And you were celebrating life.
it was, yeah, you know, dinner never tasted so good.
Mick flew back to Australia with his mates, but couldn't wait to get back to his family.
It seems to me that, well, it's obvious actually that you two are very close. And does an event like this reinforce that closeness?
Yeah. And it also makes me think of the years we've had without Sean and how we really stuck together during that time and how beautiful it's been. Only the one thing about our family now, especially me, is that I'm much more anxious.
How nice was the reunion, Mick, back here?
Yeah, it was good. It was, normally I don't do the long extended hugs, but I was happy to take that one for sure.
Yeah, it was pretty long. He's a really good hugger. You know, he really does. He puts his head on my shoulder and really, I feel it. I feel like a mother. And it's beautiful. I love his hugs. I always feel very close to him.
The other great constant in Mick's life is the ocean. It's been his playground and his sanctuary since he was 4. But right now, going surfing isn't as straightforward as it once was.
I guess when something like this happens, you're in your own mind, and your mind can play tricks on you. Your mind can turn shadows into demons or stuff like that. And then you sort of have like different self-doubts and like, why did I get away with that? Like,
Have you had nightmares?
yeah, I've had nightmares, yeah.
Are you getting help?
Yeah, I'm going to seek help for sure. I think it's the only way to deal with it.
And as unbelievable as it might seem, on his very first surf since the attack, Mick sees a fin and races back to shore.
We're sitting on the ski, and we caught one wave, and we're sitting on there, and then we sort of looked, and we just saw a tiny little fin. You wouldn't believe it. Yeah, I swear to God. Oh, it's all right. Go on.
My God.
That's all right. Oh, is that funny? It was a full shark, eh?
You've beaten off one shark, mate. You can beat off another one.
I don't know. In these waters, it's probably like a... There it is. Straight out. I just saw it. Just directly straight out.
Sharks aren't the only dangers surfers must contend with. There's also waves like this. Chopu in Tahiti is justifiably regarded as the heaviest wave on the planet. And it's where Mick is heading for the next stop on the world tour.
Do you feel like you're ready to compete?
Not right today, but give me a couple of weeks, yeah, for sure. You know, it's one of those things where you got to get back on the horse, you know. Things happen all the time, and it's the way you react to them that sort of defines on what they actually mean. And yeah, I'm going to Chopes, and yeah, I'm sure I'll be fired up.
That always really frightens me. I'll never go to Chopu and sit in that channel.
I wouldn't want it to.
Do you think he'll get his 4th title this year?
Yes,
And how would that one stack up to the 3 prior?
this will be the best. And he deserves it.
How proud of Mick are you?
What can I say? He's a beautiful boy. He's one of the most beautiful human beings, and that's what I love about him. He's just a beautiful man, And that's why I love him so much. He's an absolute credit, and I'm very proud of that.
Mick.
Is that all right?
Sort of hard, like, listening to that. I'm not one for compliments.
No, you're not. You're not. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Liz Hayes. Thanks for watching. To keep up with the latest from 60 Minutes Australia, make sure you subscribe to our channel. You can also download the 9 Now app for full episodes and other exclusive 60 Minutes content.